All in all, I was very pleased with how we did. I think that you look at that meet and it's so fast. And if you compare our conference to all the other Division III conferences, it's kind of crazy how fast it is and how difficult it can be to make it back at night, even with 3 heats at night. But I thought our team performed really well. I was particularly pleased with our women's side. I think they fought like crazy all weekend. And came just a few points short of finishing in 5th place, which is awesome. I think our men were fairly consistent, but we didn't kind of have some of the big, kind of pop-off swims that maybe sometimes they do, except for the relays, right? Like our men's and women's teams really get up for relays, and I think that's always fun to see. And so it was an exciting meet. It was an exhausting meet. I think we're all still pretty tired coming home from it, but it was, they performed really well, and I think that I think all in all we can walk away feeling very satisfied with how we did. We're taking a big group, a bunch of people that were not on our conference roster for their kind of end of the year meet, which is exciting for them to, kind of throw down some fast stuff, and then we're taking, several groups both on the men's and women's side for a last chance opportunity for, the national championship meet, and seeing if we can, maybe get some of our relay times a little bit faster. To see if we can get maybe a better chance of trying to qualify for that meet. I think some of our relays are sitting in some spots where they're kind of right on the bubble, and so if there's anything we can do to kind of get a little bit faster, then that's certainly what we're trying to do. And the environment for this meet is very different, but it's exciting just the same, but there's some of the pressure and stress of like team scores that are gone, and it's just kind of a chance to go and have fun and swim fast and be loose. And I think that if we go into that with the right attitude, then I think, anybody can throw down good performances, and it's certainly something that we're looking forward to.
I'm Julie Mason. I'm a senior at Case, so I'm majoring in mechanical and aerospace engineering, but I'm also in the BSMS program, so I'll be spending one more year here for my master's to graduate with my master's in aerospace engineering. I'm on the swim team. I really liked physics and math in high school. I thought maybe I would do that. I would major in physics, and then I kind of realized I didn't want to do that. I wanted to actually apply it to something. Mechanical and aerospace engineering kind of just seemed like the way to go for me. And I've really enjoyed it since then, so I'm really happy with my decision. So last summer, I had my first internship with Northrup Grummond, which is a big aerospace company based out of DC. So I worked as a thermal analysis intern. So I basically helped to analyze the different thermal environments that spacecraft would go into, specifically for satellites. And so this coming summer, I'll be also continuing that role as a thermal analysis intern down in Virginia, Dulles. I really liked it a lot. I think from that I've figured out a lot that I really want to do spacecraft. Obviously aerospace you can do aircraft, spacecraft, but I think I really want to do something with space. I really enjoyed being able to see satellites. I actually got to see some of them, touch some of them, which is really cool. And I think that's definitely what I want to do in the future. So I'm hoping for a full-time offer after next year. I kind of figured I should get my master's. I don't think as an engineer you really need it, but I like school a lot, so I figured I might as well. I had thought about going to a different school to do my master's just to get a different experience, but then I kind of figured out it would make a lot more sense to just spend one extra year to get my master's instead of 2 more years at another school. And I really like the program here. I really like my professors and my colleagues, so I really appreciate the opportunity to do the master's. My professor, one of them I have for like a lot of my classes, we built a really good connection. He actually introduced me to someone at NASA here in Cleveland. And he needed a role. He needed a person to kind of join his research team, and I needed something to do my research on. So my thesis for my master's will be based on what I'm doing at NASA for my work for this semester, next semester, and the one after. I'm working in aircraft icing, so obviously that's a pretty big issue. Once aircraft go into the sky, it's cold, it's liquid, ice forms. So NASA Glenn does a lot of research on aircraft icing, and so they have this really big tunnel, this wind tunnel that they test this in, but it's really big, so they kind of made a new one, a smaller scale one. And so this new tunnel needs to be characterized, needs to be calibrated. So I'm kind of helping with that, helping with instrumentation, and working on more like temperature distribution throughout the tunnel. I think I'm really, really happy with it, especially in academics and everything like that. I think I really learned a lot. I think I've changed a lot. I think that I'm really set for like my future. Coming in, I was really, obviously, I'm sure as everyone is as a freshman and sophomore, you're really worried about what's going to happen after you graduate, and you're kind of nervous about it, nervous about like life, the real world and everything. But I feel really prepared for it. And I think that has a lot to do with my education here. Swimming has also been great. I'm not like, I definitely focus more on my academics, but I think swimming was definitely a good thing for me to be able to go and do, get some energy out and get a good workout in, obviously. But I've really enjoyed everything here, really. I don't have many complaints.